the only thing the Jews had to do at that time, any one of them, any one of those Jews, a single person would have come out and said, I seek for death. I want to die. Not that he had to die. Not that he had to act. Only thing he had to do was seek for death. Say, I want to die. And the Quran would have been proved wrong. It was so easy to prove the Quran wrong, but none of the Jews came forward and said that I seek for death. It's a falsification test. But now you may tell me that all these tests of the past, how can we prove the Quran wrong today if we want to prove it wrong? Quran has tests, falsification tests, which are also meant for all time, for that time and for today and till eternity. The Quran mentioned that many people claimed and said that the Quran is forged. The Quran tells them. It's mentioned in Surah Isra, chapter number 17, verse number 88, that say, if all the humankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of the Quran, they will not be able to do it even if they help each other. It's a challenge that if all the humankind and jinn gathered to produce the like of the Quran, they will not be able to do it even if they help each other. The Quran is acclaimed as the best Arabic literature on the face of the earth by Muslims and non-Muslims alike. The Arabic language of the Quran, it is so clear, so meaningful, intelligible, unsurpassable, miraculous. It does not deviate away from truth, even though it rhymes, unlike other poetry and literature. It is the highest order of rhetoric towards the revelation. The same verse of the Quran can convince even a common man as well as an intelligent person. It is a miraculous book. The same challenge that produce a recital like the Quran is given in Surah Tur, chapter number 52, verse number 34. Later on, God Almighty, He made the test easy for the people in Surah Hud, chapter number 11, verse number 13, which says, do they say He has forged it? Tell them, produce 10 such surahs forged, and let them call for help anyone besides Allah if they speak the truth. And no one could produce 10 surahs exactly like the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala further simplifies the test and says in Surah Yunus, chapter number 10, verse number 38, that do they say He has forged it? Say, produce one surah exactly forged like the Quran. One surah forged exactly like the Quran. And call to help anyone besides Allah if you speak the truth. And they could not do it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives an easiest of easy of the test. The easiest falsification test in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 23 and 24, which says, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَى عَبْدِنَا. And if you are in doubt as what we have revealed to our servant from time to time, فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِ. Then produce a surah somewhat similar to it. وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ. And call forth your helpers and witnesses, if there are any besides Allah, in kuntum sadiqeen, if you speak the truth. فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا. But if you cannot, وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا. And of a surety you cannot. فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. Then fear the fire, whose fuel shall be men and stones. وَإِدَّةُ الْكَافِرِينَ, which is prepared for those who reject faith. First, the Quran gave a challenge. Produce a recital like the Quran. Allah subhanahu